Well, hey there, and welcome to a new day for us here at Dan Willcox Art, because I'm going to pretty dramatically change some things. My life experience is that change is not necessarily ever easy, but I've seemed to be most successful at it when things occur rather abruptly and change is required rather than optional. Talk about that more later. The biggest changes that are happening instantly is from this point going forward. Today it's September the 15th, 2025. My painting videos that are going to be on YouTube pretty much exclusively. Certainly some will be shared other social outlets from there, and possibly some on the website. But they're no longer going to be specifically being put out as instructional painting videos under the Bob Ross method. I want to be able to speak freely about my life experience, and part of the things I take very, very seriously as a certified Bob Ross instructor is the agreement that I signed with Bob Ross Corporate when I am instructing under Bob's method using his name. Obviously, his name is well more known than my name. So obviously I benefit highly from that. And I have, and I will continue to do so as I teach classes in and around the Villages and Central Florida area here under Bob's name using his materials. And absolutely, so the only materials I use. However, on these videos, there are topics that I want us to talk about, that I want us to have some sanity around. And they're going to touch on topics that are real life, and they are real important, and if not handled correctly, could really, well, result in what I think are a lot of the challenges and symptoms of poor communication that we see today. Because very importantly, when holding myself out under Bob's name as an instructor, there are topics I shouldn't talk about. I mean, think of them. I hope you have enough sense to understand there are topics I want us to touch on that I don't want negative fallout, because these are my opinions. I also want to start sharing with you information I'm learning about a brand new topic to me. And I can't do that if I'm also keeping my hat on as a certified Ross instructor only in these videos. I love every event I get to do under Bob's name, every class I get to teach. I have 2 coming up this Saturday, a big event on Friday. It is wonderful. Do not hear for a second there's a thought of anybody, whatever. I'm not going down that road. The point is, current events have led me to make some decisions that I'm not going to hide what I would consider to be my lamp, my light, the light of my life, the part of me that gives energy to the world, that is unique and special only to me for my time here on this planet. I'm not hiding that under some fear of offending someone. I am more interested in us having a dialogue if there's something we disagree about. But I'm not some pacifist that doesn't understand that there's charged emotion and there are nefarious forces at work to some degree, preying on the weaker and easier manipulated. That's not a slam against those being used. It's a indictment of those doing the using. Of course, we're responsible for our own choices and actions, and I'm going to be a little bit all over the place here, but I really want to ask some questions, and I want your help on thinking and thinking through the answers. I mean, I think, when I am able to close this hole in my face and open these 2 things on the side of my head, and I use my eyes to look at someone or something else, I now have these two ears, these two eyes, magnificent information gathering tools, trained at the thing I want to learn about. Keep this closed. Dan, shut this. And receive. You know, I've been in a couple of different places. Whoops. The lights just timed out here in the studio. You know what? I think I've got enough light with the spotlight here. Let me just move it a little bit. You know what? It's a new day. We're going to have new things happening all the time. So we're going to go with that being our light source, and I'm going to trust it's going to work just fine. So there we go. But that thing that I've heard in a couple of different meetings, and it's so, man, it's a powerful thought to really let soak into your brain, and I'm going to try and just kind of share it with you in the same way it was shared with me, and that's, you know, the particular meeting I'm talking about, I'm just going to share with you. It's part of the support mechanism that I am plugged into to help me choose daily to stay free of alcohol. And, you know, you kind of have the visual, if you'll go with me down this road, that if you're fortunate enough to find your way to a group of people participating in a structured format that's not overbearing with rules, but has these wonderful time-tested principles and suggestions that other people who have faced the same exact problem and the same, maybe not exact, where none of us are exactly the same and all of that, but they have faced the same challenge.